The fastest accelerating and most powerful AMG to date isn't some slinky supercar, it's this, the AMG GT63S E Performance, a big 4-seat, 4-door bruiser that weighs just under 2.4 tons. But it does have a trick up its sleeve, or more accurately, under this little flap at the back where you'll find the charging port. Yes, this is a plug-in hybrid, but efficiency is not the name of the game here. It's all about excitement and performance. And I can tell you, thanks to a combination of the bi-turbo V8 engine up front and an electric motor at the rear, you'll find plenty of it. So let's go check it out.
Now, there's no escaping the fact that a big number has been applied to this AMG E-Performance model in Australia, with the GT63S commanding a $399,900 price tag before on-road costs and before you start selecting option packs. Obviously, performance is what you're really paying for here, but there are also lots of niceties included too. They include an electric glass sunroof, 21-inch forged alloy wheels with ceramic composite brakes, rear axle steering, puddle lighting, power closing doors, only the ceiling part, not full hands-off closing, LED lighting, and an auto rear wing that retracts back into the bodywork at the rear. Inside, there are twin 12.3-inch screens with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a really good sound system, Napa leather seats front and back, which are heated and cooled in the front and which also offer a massage function, and 3-zone climate control.
Right, now I'm going to try and stay out of the way a little bit here and let you drink this thing in, because it is a mean looking beast, this AMG, and it certainly shows its intent. Up front you've got that huge slatted grille, the big power dome bonnet, and of course those side air intakes that are so big they look like they could suck in stray pits. At the back you've got an auto rear wing and twin dual pipe exhaust exits, and at the side you've got big 21-inch forged alloy wheels with ceramic composite brakes to help bring this big beast to a stop.
Inside, it's a pretty passenger-friendly space with all the Benz tech you'd imagine, including the massive screens, and thanks to that air suspension and its drive modes, you can almost forget you're driving the angriest AMG ever. That is, of course, until you put your foot down. It's not overly practical given its size, with AMG locking in a 4-seat configuration with a fixed rear pew that limits boot space. Now, you can get folding rear seats, but only as part of an option package. What you're left with then is a vehicle that stretches just over 5 meters in length, but it serves up rear seating for only 2, albeit very comfortably, and because of the electric battery and motor being housed at the rear axle, boot space is just 335 litres. There is triple zone climate control and the rear seating is lounge-like and luxurious, while the upfront space is ample for 2 full-size riders too.
Now there's been all sorts of dark wizardry waved over this AMG to get to those incredible power figures, and that story starts up the front where you'll find a bi-turbo V8 which delivers most but not all of the driving power, because at the back here there's an electric motor and a 6.1 kilowatt hour battery which add another up to 150 kilowatts and 320 newton meters to the equation, and the result of all that power is a car that weighs just under 2.4 tons but that can clip 100 kilometers an hour in just 2.9 seconds, and that is mind-bendingly fast for a car this size.
Fuel use is surprisingly impressive for a vehicle this big and this powerful, with Mercedes claiming 7.7 litres per 100 kilometres on the combined cycle. Helping that is the 6.1 kilowatt hour battery, which delivers just 12 kilometres in all-electric driving range, but does help reduce overall fuel use. Now, the AMG is AC power only, meaning you can't recharge using fast chargers, but the brand says its secret trick is its ability to recharge itself using captured kinetic energy incredibly quickly, largely negating the need to plug it in at all unless you want to unlock that full EV range. Now, Merck suggests that on a racetrack, for example, the battery will discharge and charge itself continuously as you're lapping.
Okay, so welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park, which is of course a racetrack, which means the embarrassingly huge helmet is a requirement. And to be honest, it's usually something that annoys me a little bit, but in this car, which is so rapid and so capable of collecting speed, I actually don't mind the helmet. It makes me feel just a tiny little bit more secure. Now, if you are still of the belief that electrification can only deliver efficiency, I can tell you this car is ready to prove you wrong. The acceleration is ridiculous, the power is immense, and AMG make no secret about the fact that the plug-in hybrid powertrain here is really about unlocking extra performance. The fact that it can go somewhere around 11 or 12 kilometers in pure EV mode and drinks less fuel is really just a happy side effect of all that potent punch. So the other thing to remember here is that this car weighs almost 2.4 tons. That is a big bus. That's like minivan levels. In fact, full minivan levels of weight. But it doesn't always feel it. It takes only a few laps for you to get used to the way the car moves, the way the car brakes with these super bitey performance brakes, and the weight kind of starts to hide itself pretty well. So the fact that the fastest accelerating and most powerful AMG to date isn't some slinky sports car, but this big, bruisey, four-door beast is surprising, but I can tell you from behind the wheel, it's still plenty of fun. So we're coming onto the main straight here, hold the acceleration, and then flat foot at the very end, let it run wide. That's 140, 160, 185, 90, 95, 200. 211, 20, and 30. That's my courage about to give out. So it had more in it, but the driver didn't, if that makes sense. But it's not just that hybrid powertrain that's delivering the kind of drive experience. There is all sorts of kind of tech wizardry on board here to try and elevate your time behind the wheel. And I mean that quite literally. There's air suspension, of course, that can deliver a relatively comfortable drive experience when you want it to, but also dial up the sport when you want it to as well. There's, of course, all sorts of diff trickery, rear wheel steer, all of it intended to make this fairly big vehicle feel a little bit more nimble. And while it never quite feels light on its feet, it doesn't feel like you're wrestling a barge either. In fact, it's a whole lot of fun. Now, of course, racetrack test drives are exactly that. How this performs on the local roads near your place, we'll have to wait and see. But if you happen to live near one of these, this can be a great amount of fun. And you can do it with 4 people on board and some stuff in the boot and without drinking all that much fuel, all of which is pretty good.
The GT63S E Performance is yet to be crash tested in Australia, probably something about each one costing the same as a small apartment, but it does come pretty comprehensively loaded with safety kit. That includes the standard Driving Assistance Package Plus, which delivers active cruise control, AEB, active steering assist, active lane change assist, and 9 airbags. The GT63S E Performance is covered by Mercedes' 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and you can prepay your service costs to keep the prices down. This is no lightweight Lotus, but damn if it ain't a hell of a good time and proof positive that electrification can enhance the V8 experience rather than ruin it.